Keeps moving the softball around. You know, she's hitting all four quadrants, and again, we talked about her going inside and outside, but again, she has the ability to go up the zone, stay downstairs. Boy, that's an impressive punch out.
So 2 up, 2 down. Here's first baseman Lilybell Porter as she runs her inside, pulls a bit of a string. Now Porter, unlike most of her teammates, watch where she sets up in the box here, Scoop. She's taken about a half a step up, but she has an open stance, and she is off the plate considerably more than most of her teammates. Is that potentially to try and get around on a pitch inside?
Well, I think that a little bit, but I also think that she maybe respects that rise ball, wants to get to it a little bit early, and you can't argue with what Porter's done. She comes in hitting .615, has an on-base percentage of over .720.
Oh, that one she pulled a string, but she got her out in front of it for strike 2. And we're talking about location, but also this afternoon, probably about that second inning on, Waldron has been very effective with her changeup.
Boy, that changeup has really been nasty. And again, that certainly can be her out pitch, but she didn't even need that to be a swing and miss pitch. She can just get kids to roll one over, get them to hit her pitch.
1-2. Looks like a bender that misses outside.
But again, she continues to move the ball around. We've seen it inside, outside. We've seen it down low. And we'll see what she comes up with here as twos are wild in this fourth inning.
2-2 on the way, misses above the letters, and Lilybell Porter. I love that name. Lilybell. Sounds like she should be down in the South, serving you maybe an Arnold Palmer and just kind of chatting with a Southern accent. I have no clue where she's from, but classy first name, Lilybell. Payoff pitch on the way. She had a good rip, but she was a little late and fouls it away.
Good job that time from Porter there to spoil that pitch as Waldron made a good one. This is an impressive matchup right here between Waldron and Porter. You know, two outstanding players in the GMC.
Payoff pitch, 3-2 on the way again. Well, she tried to change eye level on her, and Porter, a quality at bat as she draws a 2-out walk.
Yeah, that's a great at bat. Again, two of the best at GMC. Porter last year, just a phenomenal player as well. And this year, boy, she's got video game numbers so far here. I know it's a smaller sample size.
Here's McKenna Rice digging in. Rice hitting .312 entering this afternoon's contest. She's 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. Swing and a miss. All right, 0-2. Normally, if it's 75 degrees out and you can feel the a little bit looser, maybe you waste a pitch here, but I was going to say, do you just come at her with the heat if you're Kendra Waldron and get this one over with?
Well, I like what Waldron's doing. You know, she just gave her something to think about. Curveball off the plate, but now look for something else here.
Swing and a
There's
miss.
a rise.
She strikes out the side, despite giving up the 2-out walk. No runs on no hits, no errors, and 1 left the board. 3.5 are in the books. No change in our score. Pilots 2, Aces nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com.
Bottom of the fourth brings up the bottom of the order as Ayersville looking to tack on to a 2-0 lead against visiting Hicksville. It will be the 9-hole senior right fielder Mickey Shreve, followed by the leadoff as the lineup rolls over for the second time this afternoon. Kendra Waldron on deck and Michaela Sierra in the hole. They will take their cuts against Kennedy Adams, who hasn't pitched poorly, but just a couple of missed spots in key situations that has made the difference between a scoreless game and a 2-0 lead.
Well, you're right. You know, she'd like to have that pitch back to Waldron, who led off the game with the home run. That was a 2-1 pitch that found maybe too much to the plate.
Yep.
And Shreve scored the other run where she walked.
Well, it was actually Ryland Beecher.
I'm sorry, but she walked to get Beecher in the scoring position to set up the RBI double from Waldron. So Shreve certainly has played a part here from the 9 position.
2-0, Speed misses outside. Yeah, that's an inning undoubtedly that Kennedy Adams wishes she had back, because she retired the first 2 hitters quickly and then gave up a single to Ryland Beecher on the first pitch, and then 4 straight balls to Shreve that brought up Waldron again. So it's not that she's pitched badly, Scoop, but it's where you make the mistakes, and not just where, but who you make those mistakes to sometimes that spell the difference.
Well, you're right, and no surprise. I mean, and Adams is going to compete out there. You know, she's a fine pitcher, has got a lot of experience, and is going to win a lot of games for the Aces this year.
This one fouled away, evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Shreve on the young season, as we mentioned, only 6 games so far in the books, but anchoring down right field and hitting .364 in the bottom of the order, and she draws her 2nd walk of the afternoon. This time it's a leadoff here in the 4th.
Great job by Shreve. You know, she's that table setter from the 9-hole position, and that time she works the walk. So leadoff runner aboard for Ayersville. And wow, Kendra Waldron, who's already halfway to the cycle with a double and home run, steps to the plate.
And she's getting serious as she's ditched her warm-ups now, too. So she's feeling it as the first pitch misses way above catcher CeCe Keeley's mitt to the backstop, and that's going to be a wild pitch. Waldron 2 for 2 with a solo home run and an RBI double. Enters this afternoon hitting an even .300. Kind of a late swing. Don't see that very often from her. She hit .380 last year, Scoop, and she also had 4 triples, 9 doubles, and 4 home runs. So she's got some power, as we're seeing here today, as she went yard for her 2nd home run of the season to lead off the ball game. Inside out, kind of a dead roller to first. Winning the race to the bag is Porter, but it does the basically same job as a sacrifice, as Shreve takes 3rd on the play, and now less than 2 outs. We'll see if Michaela Sierra can chase her home.
Yeah, that's a quality at bat there by Waldron. He did everything right, was able to go the other way. That's going to move Shreve to 3rd base. So now an RBI opportunity, as Hicksville will need to bring the infield in here with Shreve on 3rd and just 1 out.
Sierra on the day, wondering what she's got to do to pick up a hit. She hit a missile to short, and McAlexander fielded it off of her shoe tops and made a great throw. She hit another rocket shot back to the circle in the 2nd with the bases loaded, and Adams fielded her position. And she's looking at an 0-2 count here.
Yeah, right now you just have to be situational. Try to put the ball in play. If you get something upstairs, try to lift it to the outfield to get a sac fly.
As this one chopped foul. I know so often baseball and softball are different games, Scoop. From obviously the dimensions, how fast the ball gets on you, to the delivery, obviously overhand from baseball, underhanded from softball. But the key here, can you get underneath the ball if you're Michaela Sierra? Can you lift something? As she chops that one foul, it's more difficult for a left-handed slapper than it is somebody who's hitting from the natural.
Well, that's
right
what I was going to say. You know, for a lot of kids, I think they can make that adjustment. Sierra does such a great job being that slap hitter, so she's still trying to do that with her approach here. Just kind of hit a soft roller that hopefully for the Pirates can bring home Mickey Shreve from 3rd base.
Well, with 1 out, we'll see what she can do here with an 0-2 count. This one, a nubber up the first base side. Adams will eat the softball. She was waiting to see if she could bait Shreve into trying to take home. She eats the softball that's going to go, you're going to call that an infield single or a fielder's choice?
That's up to the official score, but I would give that a base hit. That was kind of one of those swingy bunts there, that slap swing that was kind of hitting no man's land there, close to the first base line. Adams did not want to risk a throw to first. I think she perhaps would have beat it out. So we're going to give her an infield single.
Right, there we go. Why not? And it brings up Ariel Brown, who takes outside. The runner goes. They actually throw a snap throw down to 3rd. It gets into left, and just too late getting up. Mickey Shreve is held up by Coach Zartman at third base. She's forcing a smile. He knocks her on the helmet, too, saying, you got to be quicker than that, kid. You can smile when you're leading 2-0.
Good heads-up play by Cece Keeley that time. In wiffle ball, that would have been an out. I think that hit Mickey down there at third base when she was off the base. But no harm, no foul there. But Ayersville does now have second and third here with just one out. So
and good speed at second base as well. If you're Brown and you can punch one into the outfield, this is most likely going to score 2.
Yeah, and that's probably the last hitter you want to see in this scenario. Ariel Brown, first team All-GMC a year ago, one of the top hitters in the GMC.
Off the mitt, and again, unable to read that one, though. Shreve stays put. Brown looking at a 3-0 count right now.
But I think you give her the green light here. I think you trust her. The fact that, again, one of the top hitters in all of the Green Metals Conference.
She hit .467 last year. She takes the obligatory 3-0 fastball at the knees for a strike.
Yeah, I like to hold right there because that was not one of those BP fastballs waist high. That was a quality pitch right at the knees by Adams. Again, still be selective here.
Absolutely.
You're up to the count 3-1.
On the way, this one, a liner into right field, and it will get down. They're going to go ahead and wave the second runner around. There will be a play at the plate, but it's off the mark. Sierra scores, and a heads-up move on the throw home by Brown to take second base, and the Pilots have now doubled up their lead 4-0.
Great hitting by Brown. Great job being patient there. She got a pitch across the plate. She got into the hitter's count at 3-1. She's able to get a base knock there to right field, and as you mentioned, Brent, just excellent base running. Once she saw that throw was going all the way to home plate, no hesitation, she takes second on the throw.
So that brings up Ava Sigler, 1 for 2.
This has been impressive by Ayersville. A lot of times you get an early lead, you kind of sit on it, but right now Ayersville's been able to extend her lead a couple times here.
Keeping on the pressure as this one floats upstairs and outside. Evens things up to the junior third baseman. Sigler 1 for 2 this afternoon. She doubled and was forced out at home on a attempted sacrifice, but with the wet, I can't say muddy, but mushy maybe would be better, conditions here on field number 5. This is not Ayersville's varsity field, but it's drained faster given the earlier rain we've seen this week than the varsity field, but the ball just died a quick death in front of the plate. As off with the pitch, and the throw down to third is not in time, and Ariel Brown in with a stolen base.
That's a great heads-up play by Ariel Brown. Once she saw that ball was going to be downstairs, she got a little bit extra in her secondary lead, and once it hit the dirt, there was no hesitation. Tremendous dirt ball read. Now another opportunity for Ayersville to tack on a run.
2-2, inside-out swing, fouled away and bounces off the first base dugout roof. Into the early going here so far this season, as we mentioned. The Pilots are 2-4. The Aces are 4-1. This is the Green Meadows Conference season opener for both teams. Swing and a miss. She went chasing. Tremendous break. Great lateral movement on that pitch by Kennedy Adams.
Well, it really did. It had so much glove side run to it. I think you're going to need a fishing pole to hit that one.
Wow.
It started out across the plate as well, so tremendous pitch here by Adams and a much-needed punch-out.
So as this one scoots over the mitt of Cece Keeley, and a wild pitch will allow Brown to come home with the 5th run of the ball game for Ayersville.
And that's fundamentally sound base running by Ariel Brown. She did everything right. She got off of the pitch, good secondary lead, and once she saw it was out of the zone, she got a little bit extra running start. And just no chance for Keeley to make a play.
That'll be the easiest RBI of the season for Daniela Coble. I got a game winner once on a wild pitch, and that was the first time I remembered the coach telling me, goes, still counts as an RBI. Now, was he lying to me or not?
He was lying to you,
That's what I thought.
But hey, doesn't matter. You got to win, you got to walk off. That's all that matters.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Coble digging in, trying to keep the line moving. This one misses high and outside.
Well, you had a generous stat keeper.
That was my head coach. I think what he was trying to do was just boost me up. Payoff pitch on the way. Swing and a miss. She got her. So that will do it for the Pilots here in the bottom of the 4th, but not before they put up a big crooked number. 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We will head to the 5th. Pilots 5, Aces nothing. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com.
Top of the 5th inning. Kendra Waldron has found her groove. As a matter of fact, she's only faced 1 batter over the minimum over the last, 2 2/3. Matter of fact, my book loaded with K's. She has now found it despite the cold weather here, and the Aces starting to run out of opportunities if they're going to solve her, as it will be 6, 7, and 8. Sanders, Keeley, and Keeley. Second trip through the lineup for this part against Kendra Waldron for Hicksville.
Well, Waldron is just locked in. You can see it in her eyes. I mean, we knew she had that X factor coming in. She's such a competitor, but she's really focused, has attacked the zone early. Her last 7 outs have all been via the strikeout.
Yep.
So she struck out the side in the 3rd and 4th inning, got the final out in the 2nd inning with a strikeout. And all that was just 1 walk mixed in between all that.
Sanders took a pitch inside. She's taken 2 inside and taken a good rip, but just couldn't quite put the barrel of the bat on it. And she looked skyward after that last one, as now she's in a world of hurt down, no balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, Sanders, one of the 3 Hicksville players to reach base.
Slow chopper to short. Brown fires off her back foot. My goodness, she just made a tough play look incredibly easy.
She's awfully smooth, and again, we talked about the importance. If you play clean, combine that with the fact you've got a Kendra Walden out there in the circle, boy, that's going to be good math for Coach Zartman this season.
Well, again, you can't play back on this field today. It is slow, and that's probably a generous description of it, but it's also mushy. I mean, you can see from our center field camera there the divots from the players' cleats that are taking up. This is not what you'd call optimal conditions this afternoon.
Yeah, it's really soft, so the ball's going nowhere in a hurry. That's why it's going to be so important. Anything on the ground, you come charging right away. But it also is tough to run it if you're hitting the softball, getting out of the box. We saw a lot of mud kind of clumping off the cleats here on the way to first base here this afternoon.
Cece Keeley looking at an 0-2 count. Called strike 3, inside corner at the knees. That's another backwards K. 2 away.
And right now, Kendra Waldron pitched with a lot of tempo, keeping her defense sharp on their toes, a lot of first pitch strikes, and now 2 quick outs in this 5th inning.
Well, there you see a great look at the backside of Rylan Beecher, the center fielder, who has moved over a little bit in front of our center field camera. You got to play where you need to, Rylan, absolutely. So here's Aaliyah Keeley digging in, 0 for 1. One of the strikeout victims, that to lead off the 3rd as she takes a strike here. Down in the count, 0-2. Now the question becomes, if you're Kendra Waldron, you try and waste a pitch, or you just come with your fastball? She busts her inside, and that's actually, it sounds like it went off the knee pad of Coble, and they're also going to say it caught a piece of Keeley. So a delayed call, but hit by pitch gives a 2-out base runner to the Aces.
Yeah, I thought that clipped her. That's the right call. And again, good time for that to happen. You're down to count 0-2, and now you find a way to get on base.
I think Koba was the one that took the worst end of that. She still can't see it. She's being screened out there down our first base camera, but she was trying to shake it off. Never feels good, but especially on a day like today, going to be a few more bumblebees in that. So here's Slattery digging in. Strike one. She was 0 for 1, struck out looking back in the third.
And Walter now 4 for 4 on first pitch strikes to Hicksville hitters this inning.
That's a beauty. Froze her. Well, Taylor Slattery, I asked Coach Adams, I said, who are your alphas? He said, we've got a ton of them. I said, okay, how about the opposite of that? Who are your jokers? Who's going to lighten up the mood? Check swing. Did she offer? Did that get fouled? I thought I heard what might have been off the knob of the bat.
I'm not sure why they called that a ball. It clearly, I thought, hit her hands.
And she's shaking it off.
And
but
if she swung, then it's a
strike.
Dead ball strike.
Yep. But instead, it's ball one. So here we go. And it just took one more pitch. So Slattery swings over the top of it for the third out here in the Hicksville fifth. No runs, no hits, no errors, one left to board. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. Pilots in command, 5-0. You're watching DCTV Sports. Bottom of the fifth, there you get a good look at the scoreboard. This is field number 5, and the Pilots have put up 1 run for the namesake of this field. It's not the varsity field, but it's the driest field on less than an optimal afternoon weather-wise. But the Pilots have taken care of business, not the least of which helped by a big crooked number, a 3-spot. Just a frame ago, as it will be 6, 7, and 8. Allison Eldridge, first pitch swinging, sends a liner into right center field for a leadoff single to get the show going here in the fifth.
And Eldridge now with her second hit of the afternoon. She's had some quality swings here, another base hit, and once again, Ayersville has their leadoff batter aboard, trying to stretch out this 5-0 lead.
So here's Aubrey Limber getting set to dig in. Limber, a sophomore, hitting a .125, was a late call to action here at first base.
Yeah, they made that change, I think, less than 10 minutes before first pitch, so she was a late addition to the lineup, but she's done a fine job here. She handles the bat very well.
Isn't the count 0-1? Either way, it doesn't matter. She lines this one into the right center field gap. Rounding second, Eldridge will stand up into third. And look at this. Heads up base running on the play when the throw goes to third. Instead, it should have been in front of her to keep her. She ends up taking second base on what will be a single and then a fielder's choice.
Yeah, great job by Aubrey Limber that time. A great piece of hitting, a south line drive base hit to right field. But then she saw the throw in. Airmailed the cutoff man, and then she alertly took second base. So great job there by Limber. And once again, Ayersville has something cooking here with runners at second and third, no one out.
Coach Adams is going to go out to the circle, and Kennedy Adams, and I can't believe she's going to leave the game. Will she play another position or – nope, she's throwing on a jacket. So they're going to make a pitching change. What we're going to do is take a – quick timeout. We'll get the name, numbers, and stats on the new Aces reliever. It's 5-0 Pilots, but with runners at second and third and nobody out here in the fifth. They're getting closer to a potential 10-run rule. Don't you go anywhere. We're back with more on DCTV Sports.
For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com.
Back at Ayersville, 5-0 Pilots, but with nobody down here in the bottom of the fifth. Ayersville has 2 runners aboard, and they're looking to keep the pressure on as the new pitcher is Abby Hansen for Hicksville. And Scoop, as I look at her stats, I believe this might be her first appearance, at least in the circle, this season. I don't see anything on her. So Hansen taking over for Adams.
Right now, she'll have her hands full because this is an Ayersville team that's just really seeing the ball very well. They've had multiple hits in each and every inning except for the first inning where they just had that solo home run, I say just, from Kendra Waldron. But, boy, they have really done a nice job of not only connecting on the baseball, that we've seen quality at bats. They've done a nice job being patient. They've worked themselves with 4 walks.
2-0 the count, and Beecher sends a laser into the left center field gap that will go all the way to the wall. Eldridge is home. Limber being waved home. She will score on a ball that was absolutely barreled up into the left center field gap. It is a 2 RBI double for Rylan Beecher, and now the floodgates have opened here as it's 7-0 Ayersville.
Great offensive approach that time by Beecher. Very aggressive. She got a pitch she could drive. And, again, when you get that pitch, you don't want to miss it. She squared it up. And a stand-up double for Beecher brings home 2 teammates.
First pitch swinging here. This is going to be a little humpback liner into shallow center field off the back of Shreve. Having to hold, and look at this aggressive running as the throw went to third, and Shreve will take second. Second time this inning, an Ayersville hitter has taken an extra station after the throw didn't come behind them, and that's just good aggressive base running.
Great job by the Pilots, and how about Mickey Shreve that time coming up with a 4th consecutive hit for the Pilots. And what production they're getting throughout the lineup. Shreve from the 9 spot has been on base all 3 times. Beecher from the 8 spot.
Kendra Waldron with a high fly ball. Look out. It's good height, good distance. Goodbye. Her second bomb of the game. And she's not going to slow down to enjoy it as she's on a dead sprint around third base. A 3-run shot to make it 10-0 Ayersville. And that will do it as we've got a run rule.
Wow, that ball left the yard in a hurry, and I think Kendra might have been faster from home to home that time than she was in that first home run back in the first inning. But what a day for the Pilots and Kendra Waldron as they take care of the Aces in run rule fashion here in Ayersville.
Look, this game is going to be deceiving because if you open up the papers or just look at the box score, you're going to think that this was just pressure on nonstop, and that wasn't the case. Kennedy Adams pitched very admirably through the first 3 innings, but then all of a sudden, Ayersville found their groove at the plate, and this one's going to end early, 10-0. The score as the Pilots pick up their 3rd win of the season while handing the Aces just their 2nd loss. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we will have our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame. Don't you go anywhere. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding. 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac is this area's new and used car headquarters, earning your trust one satisfied customer at a time. Estill Chevrolet Cadillac, North Clinton Street in Defiance, and online at drivebobestill.com. For the past 70 years, Midwest Community Federal Credit Union has been your financial partner, helping you achieve your dreams and secure your future. Midwest Community Federal Credit Union, with locations in Defiance, Bryan, and Napoleon. Find out more at midwestcommunity.org. Simplify your everyday banking with convenient account options and digital banking features that fit your unique lifestyle. Premier Bank, everyday banking solutions designed for you. Explore solutions today at yourpremierbank.com. Visit Mark Moats Ford and check out some of the best new Ford models. Mark Moats Ford has been serving the Defiance community since 1916. Visit them today, County Road 424 in Defiance, and online at markmoatsford.com. Proudly serving the area with the highest quality contracting services for nearly 100 years. Baker Schindler Company of Defiance and Paulding, 419-782-5080. Online at baker-schindler.com. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
We welcome you back to Ayersville as the Pilots, with a big and a commanding win. She only knows one gear. Kendra Waldron, as the team breaks the huddle from Coach Zartman down the right field line, goes on a dead sprint, hurdles first base, and grabs a piece of equipment. Look, you've got those types of players. It's easy to get behind them, and she throws a no-hitter here this afternoon, and the Ayersville Bats come alive after about the fourth inning on. They put together a crooked number in the fourth, a 3 spot to make it 5-0, and then they explode for 5 runs in the fifth to make it 10-0, and in doing so pull within a game of 500 at 3-4, and at the same time handing Hicksville just their second loss of the season at 4-2. And cherry on the top scoop, today was the GMC opener for both teams, so the conference schedule is now underway, and at least for the time being, the Pilots are atop the pack.
I'll tell you what, they were impressive tonight, and you mentioned, how about Kendra Waldron? I'm not sure which was better, her pitching or her hitting tonight. I mean, what do? She has a 11 strikeout, no-hit performance in the circle, and then offensively, 3 for 3, 2 home runs, a double, 5 RBIs. What a performance by the senior here this afternoon, but a great team win. Ayersville did not make an error out there in the field. Had some quality at bats. All 9 Ayersville hitters reached base. 8 of the 9 Ayersville hitters in the lineup tonight had at least 1 base hit. A total team effort here tonight in Ayersville.
Well, running it down at the plate, Waldron herself goes 3 for 4 with 2 runs scored and 5 RBI. on the strength predominantly, Scoop, of 2 home runs. She had 4 all of last season, so she's over halfway there to match her performance from a season ago. But it wasn't just a one-woman show. Michaela Sierra goes 1 for 3 with a run scored. Ariel Brown was nothing short of impressive. 1 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and 2 RBI. Ava Sigler 1 for 3. Allison Eldridge 2 for 3 with an RBI. Aubrey Limber in the 7-hole goes 1 for 3 with a run scored. And how about the bottom of the order, 8 and 9? Rylan Beecher goes 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored and 2 RBI. And Mickey Shreve, she picked up a couple of walks. She goes 1 for 1 with 2 runs scored. So, again, if you're an opposing pitcher, pick your poison.
Well, that's awfully big. You know, when you got Waldron, Sierra, and Brown at the top of the order, but then you get that kind of production from 7, 8, 9. Wow. There's no time off. So great job there by Ayersville. They've proven to me already they're going to be a force in the GMC.
Yes.
Remember last year they finished just a game back at Tenora as they suffered a
their only loss.
3-1 loss to the Rams a year ago. But, boy, they looked primed to be in the GMC hunt this year. Impressive win against a very good Hicksville team.
Well, and I was about to say it, too. If you're Hicksville, obviously you ran up against a buzzsaw here this afternoon. But this is a team that is upperclassmen laden, and just because they lose their opener here today in less than ideal weather conditions and against one of the, if not arguably right now, the best pitcher in the conference, they're still going to be in the hunt throughout the rest of the season.
Well, I totally agree. That's a much improved Hicksville team that we've seen from the last couple of seasons. I think their defense is going to be solid. You combine that with someone like Kendi Adams in the circle that's going to really compete, who's going to locate. Again, I think that's going to bring good fortunes for them. They also have a couple of really good solid hitters in that lineup. So Hicksville is going to make some noise in the GMC this year as well.
Right here, sir. We showed up. Now, you name it. Broadcasters sitting outside in the same weather conditions as the coaches, the players, and the fans. Gloves on, though, here this afternoon.
Yeah,
so my
cold.
book's just a little slightly less neat than it would normally be anyway. But in all honesty, where do you start with this one? And we can start obviously in the circle and at the plate, but this was a team effort.
Oh, absolutely. I just got done telling the paper. I think it started with our defense, honestly. Obviously, they get a runner on, they put a bunt situation into play. We make a play at first, and they try taking third, and our left fielder's coming in just like we practiced to cover the bag, and we execute. And I think that was what settles us into the game there, honestly. So.
Let's walk through this, and I'm going to start with offense here because it's easy to say Kendra threw another no-hitter and finding her groove. I think about the third inning there was a point where she had 7 straight strikeouts. But offensively, we just ran through this. I guess we'll start with her offensively. 3 for 4 with 2 home runs. She had 4 all of last season. I know you said you weren't going to touch her swing last year, but there were some things that you were looking at. What's her work been at the plate this year? We talk about her pitching all the time.
Trying to be more disciplined, with pitch selection if she can. Early on this year, she was free swinging and swinging at everything, and I think now she's seeing the ball. As you play more games, that happens. But she's staying back more this year instead of being a lunger out front. So I know she was working on that. And this year when she came in, I was like, man, you're staying back now. Like, what changed? So obviously we put work in. But I really think that's a change for her offensively. She's starting to see the ball on the release and then staying back and driving the ball.
I know she only knows one gear, but she can slow down a bit around the bases just to enjoy it. I mean, dead sprint. Scoop made a joke. She rounded the bases faster than the ball left the park. She just only knows one gear, doesn't she?
She does. Yeah, she's a competitor. She's all out all the time. She rounded the bag. I don't even think she was smiling when she rounded the bag.
She wasn't.
I just said, make sure you touch home. So that's the only thing I had. So, but no, she had a phenomenal game tonight. I mean, obviously starting off, helping herself out offensively, getting the 1 run at the beginning of the game. That kind of helps us settle in, So, but
Coach, talk about your offensive approach tonight. We saw quality at bats 1 through 9. And the girls really did a great job of really kind of staying locked in. They didn't chase a lot of pitches out of the zone, and when they got those pitches across the plate, they usually didn't miss.
Well, we talked last night. I don't get into offense too much besides being selective up and down. The ins and outs, I think sometimes you get a little too in-depth with kids. They think too much at the plate. And we kind of let them swing away. But, again, we've been working hard the last 2 weeks on high zone, ball under hands. If it's at your hands, let it go. So as far as the up and down tonight, I'm very pleased because we have made that adjustment as far as ball selection up and down. But in and out, I kind of let them do their thing. But I did see a lot of balls hit to the opposite field tonight, which is something we work on a ton. But again, I don't get too in depth with them. I just kind of let them react to it.
Yeah, I'm looking up and down here, and all but one player picks up at least one hit.
Yeah.
Everybody reaches base at least once. Yeah. And I'm looking at Murderer's Row in the bottom third of this lineup. And especially Ryland Beecher goes 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored and a couple of RBI. Mickey Shreve, again, a couple of walks, 2 runs scored and a single. Once that first inning is over, you've got a potential leadoff hitter no matter what part of your lineup's coming to the plate.
Yep, and Ryland's been struggling, and this was a breakout game for her because she's been not seeing the ball, just swinging at whatever comes at her. And today she was actually selective. So I think all the work we've put in, I think it's coming along, and that's what you want is a leadoff hitter every inning if possible. But the good thing is you get kids on, are we able to move them? You know, we tried a squeeze bunt, probably not the best move tonight with the ground being so soft. But,
it died a quick death.
Just trying to get kids moving on the bases. But, yeah, I mean, what we saw tonight is what our bottom half has to be for us to be successful.
Let's talk about the pitching just a little bit. I mean, it's hard to ignore the no-hitter and so forth, but, you know, through the first 9 batters, I had Kendra getting into 6 3-ball counts, but then things just kind of clicked. She really did a great job.
Yeah.
First pitch strike after first pitch strike, she got hitters on 0-2 counts. What really changed for her to really get – you could just see from here she was in control there from that late second inning on.
Yeah, she's a kid that could probably throw 200-300 pitches and be absolutely okay. So as the game goes on, she got warmed up and was actually starting to push off the mound a little bit more. I think at the beginning she was just whipping it and not driving to the plate. And that was causing her ball to go high in the zone a little bit. But I think that was her adjusting to the conditions. You know, it's soft. But, yeah, as she goes, she always gets warmed up, and then she gets better as the game goes. So that's typical of her.
She gets better. Everybody gets better as the season goes along and warms up. Yeah. How much better can everybody, not just her, be here? Hopefully in about another 3 weeks when we start seeing 70-degree temperatures.
Kendra made a great comment tonight. This was a team win, and it was by everybody, up and down the lineup defensively. Again, if this is who we can be every game, we have a shot against anybody. And that's, I think, the girls understanding that, and it is a team game. And a lot of times we focus on Kendra and Ariel and all those players. I think a lot of the girls, if they understand that they're just as good as everybody else and have that mentality at the plate, have that mentality defensively, good things can happen with a lot of good teams.
I was going to ask you about going to Hicksville next game, but you mentioned Ariel, moving from behind the plate to shortstop because you graduated both Laura and Taylor last year, so you're still looking to find that chemistry to replace really a solid left side of that infield. Is it just going to be a spin the roulette wheel decision depending on who the opponent is, or is she locking in as shortstop now?
I would say conference play, she's probably there. I'm a person that believes in playing kids in other positions because you got to build for the future too. So Danny Coble behind the plate, she's a freshman. She does a great job catching Kendra, but she's also a heck of a third baseman too. So, and we got to get Ava some shots at short and Ava at second as well. So we got, based on games and where we're at and what we feel like we got to do. Obviously, playing Montpelier the other night, we kind of locked ourselves in. Like this is our go-to defense, and that happened with Northview the other night. We weren't doing well with Allie at short. It was a turf field. Things were going bad, so I made a flip, and it kind of stuck, and it stuck against Montpelier, and that's what we're going with. So, as much as Ariel wants to catch, and she loves catching, she's just as good at shortstop. She's just a good ball player, and so I think I've kind of had that conversation with her is we got to do what's best for the team, and she's a team player as well. But she's going to get her shot at catching as well, so I'm not going to pull her 100% from there. But Danny's going to need breaks, so I've always had 3 or 4 catchers that we rotate through, so it's nothing new for me to move kids around. So,
well, the pieces are there. That's a good thing, and you'll juggle them as they go. But, Coach, a great way to start out the GMC, and Boy, just an impressive win by your team.
Thank you very much, and appreciate everything you guys do for the kids.
Hey, looking forward to covering your program the rest of the season.
Thank you, guys.
We're going to take a quick break and get the heck somewhere warm.
He's shaking, sure.
I can't help it. Don't have the oil in the joints that I used to. But again, a big win, not just to pull to within one game of 500, but to go 1-0 in the GMC to start it off. Coach Zart, thanks for joining us. We're going to take one last break. Back to put a wrap on our Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show. You're watching DCTV Sports.
Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Personalized service and quality products in a friendly and caring atmosphere. Schedule your appointment today. Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center. Stadium Drive in Defiance and online at visionsource-brunswickeye.com.
We're not kidding. It's cold. Back to put a wrap on the Brunswick Eye and Contact Lens Center postgame show as Ayersville knocks off Fairview today to go 1-0 in the GMC, 3-4 overall to pull back to within a game of 500. Hicksville, don't count them out, folks. Just because they lost today, I don't think there's any question they're going to be in the hunt as the season whirls along. This is just their second loss of the season. They fall to 4-2, but now 0-1 in conference play. Scoop, what stood out to you here as we put a wrap on things?
Well, I was really impressed. You know, we knew the conditions would be tough, but I thought both pitchers really did a great job of adjusting to the temp, and Kendra Walden just seemed to get better as the game went on. But I was really impressed. I thought both teams' defenses did some good things. I mean, there's plenty of reason, I think, to come back to practice tomorrow for both teams, but you can see both these teams going to win some games. And how about Ayersville with these cold conditions? Boy, they wrapped out 12 hits, played clean on defense, got superb pitching, and they start out with an impressive win here to start out GMC play this season.
That's going to do it for our broadcast here this afternoon. A big thank you going out to our crew doing more than yeoman's work on just a nasty afternoon. Big thank you going out to our sponsors for helping make the broadcast a possibility. And as always, you the fan for tuning in. For Scoop Miller, I'm Brent Balbinot. Final score, Pilots knock off the Aces 10-0. You've been watching a presentation of DCTV Sports.